All right. I'm going to make sure we are recording tonight. So welcome everyone to Growing Up Alien. And we have an exciting evening. I know everyone has been so gracious and handing over their questions for both Val and Semjase. And without further ado, I want to mention our guest tonight who will be talking to those two friends of ours. This is Ethera, and she's been a galactic channeler or telepathing with upstairs for 37 years. She also does sound communication, and she's a good friend of Frank Chili, who introduced her to me. I think it was about a year ago, maybe over the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm going to have Frank just say a little bit about you because he definitely deserves the honor of, since he's been with you for so long. And yeah, Frank, how would you describe Ethera's skills and gifts for our audience?
Well, I would say that she's a very clear and talented and very accurate channel of our friends, our golden helmeted friends, and members of the hierarchy and the spiritual elders of the planet. And she has been groomed for this task over her lifetime, and she continues to become more accurate and more comprehensive in her communications with our friends. And they're using her in a great capacity to further consciousness and awareness on this planet as we're going through these difficult times, but we are achieving our goals. We really are.
Grand, brilliant. I also want to introduce our co-host extraordinaire for this evening, Linda, who is back again with Smokey. And this is again like old times. We got Frank.
My cat.
It's like, oh yeah, Smokey. But
wherever he went.
He was there the last time for the
Yes.
yeah, the alcove. So yeah, we're
Thank you for having me back on. And yes, I appreciate it. And nice meeting
times.
Everyone.
Old times, right? Old times. So
yes, old times with me, you, and Frank on potentials.
On potentials, absolutely. So I'll put the link again. Some folks were asking about Linda's channel. She's been posting some super awesome rock stuff the past weeks anyway.
Thank you.
So definitely, I'll put the link again. Don't forget to subscribe to Potentials. There's some really cool stuff on there. Linda's putting a lot of extra work into it. Again, got the fire back. So yeah, for sure, subscribe. I think you won't regret that decision. So anyway. Ethera, I want to just ask you, when did you notice these connections to upstairs?
Well, it happened a long time ago when I was learning how to channel. I actually worked more with the spiritual teachers / ascended masters. But then I started having my own encounters. And the first one was I was trying to learn how to meditate out in the campgrounds where I used to work. And I went out there to do a meditation, and I hadn't been able to meditate for over a year or so. I was just breathing in and breathing out. And then the next thing I know, I saw all this blue light around me with my eyes closed, and I began to speak the words Vana Dashum Exanitan over and over again. Well, I had a reading with a woman out of Seattle, Washington. Her name was Shirley Tebow. She did a tarot reading for me, and I was telling her about the sound communications, and she said, "You do realize you're having a UFO encounter?" And I was like, "Not me, Jack." I'm not the crazy one. But actually, then when I had a regressive hypnosis session, I had 2 of them to find out what my sound communications were all about. I didn't find out it, but then my friend who was also the regressionist, she had a sister-in-law who actually listened to the tape that I sent her, and she began to get a message for me that I was actually bringing information from my twin sister who I'd been on the planet with Yeshua while he was walking on the planet, and that basically she was a musical tone now in another sphere. And I also had 3 encounters myself, where one of them was on Route 26 in State College on Pine Grove Mountain. Was the first time I saw the shooting star that started to land like a ball of light. But the very last one was in my yard, and it started to come down. I had a friend, her name was Serafina, and I wanted to go in, and she wanted me to stay out because I had been working all night. And, you know, this is a very long thing, so I'm trying to give you just the brief history of it. But all of a sudden, it went from being a shooting star to a ball of light starting to land down in the woods. And I'd already made connection before with Samyasi, and Samyasi came through me, and she spoke for about probably 45 minutes. That's the only one that I do remember. But however, little by little, I started to do this work for myself. I was not going public with the Galactics, only with the Ascended Masters. And after that, all of a sudden, I actually had a reading for this woman, and I was talking to her, and I confided in her that I was actually receiving information from an extraterrestrial named Samyasi. And she said, "You have to meet my father." And I was like, okay. And he brought me this big book from the Silver Star in Switzerland. Of course, it was in his language, so he had to, you know, help me understand the interpretation of it. He also brought me the sketch that I showed you, Andrea, and showed Frank, of Samyasi. So I've had contact with her for quite some time, but I also have contact with the Arcturians and with the Pleiadians directly as well. So yeah, it's been quite a while.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Wow, very cool. Yeah. And then when did you get to talking with Valthor?
Just recently, thanks to Frank.
Oh, yes, he's the one who started. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, can I share with you one of the highlights of being with Val? It was so crazy because when he was speaking through me, he started talking about when I lived in Florida and I had a sliding glass door. And I was like, I haven't thought of that in years. And he said, I've been with you for a very long time. I was like, yeah, I guess you have been.
I live in Florida.
Oh, really? What part of Florida?
Sarasota.
I lived on the East Coast, Palm Beach
Okay.
County.
I
Yeah.
know where that is. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, and that memory just came up, and I've noticed now when they're coming through me, they will scan me for different memories, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, you were doing this and you've been doing that." And it's like, "Wow, how do you know that?" And they said, "We know your energy signature." So yeah. So it's pretty awesome. And I really love channeling. I can't say enough about channeling because it opens us to new ideas about ourselves. Oh, and something else I wanted to make plain. This is not about me, as I say to Frank all the time. This is about the message that I'm here to bring. And I've been on Earth assignment for a really, really long time now. And one of the things I want to be able to stress to the people that it's going to be hearing this is it's about finding the commonalities between people, about really hearing each other and loving each other and finding ways to just be able to express our care for one another. I believe humanity is very, very precious.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. So have you had any encounters since the the ball of light that started to land in the woods? Any other you because you were talking
Absolutely.
through your ships.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. As a matter of fact, the one that I had within a month ago was actually a cloud ship, and the cloud was really heavy in the sky. It came down near my window, and I felt this total love emanating from that. And funny enough, when I was doing the field research on my own at the campgrounds at midnight, I would be out there wondering, okay, is this going to be like that unconditional loving light I felt? Or is this going to be some kind of alien that's going to grab me up and try to do something? And I'd look in the bushes, and you remember it was moonlight. I'm like, oh my God, there could be an alien. So I'd run away. So I was running towards and running away, running towards and running away. And I wrote a column called Out of the Fear and Into the Light. It was a 3-part series in my column, which was Out of This World and Into My Heart. I also was doing a UFO group many years ago, a Penn State UFO group in State College with my friend Janet Smith, who is now Janet Lesson. And she has her own her own podcast and everything. And we did that for probably a year. And the one thing I couldn't say when I was talking about my experiences was there was a spiritual connotation to it, because it was a university, and you can't, talk about religion and places like that. So it wasn't until I formed a new group after that. There was about 6 of us, and we did what was called the Diamond Group. We actually got that name in meditation, and we did some CE5s that way. I've also been involved with 2 CE5s with my friend Raven, who had a telepathic 101 class. And he calls it the Galactic Cafe, which is really, really awesome. I work with another group called the Ponte, and they are from Pontel, and they are underneath the Sandia Mountain and have been there for probably 15,000 years. And I actually did another CE5 with some friends, and we didn't even go out in the field. We were actually in the house, and the things that were happening were absolutely amazing. And then yesterday, when I was half asleep, half awake in that, that theta level nod state, I actually saw Ptah, who is one of the Ponte. I saw his eyes for the first time, and they were so beautiful. I cannot speak enough about the Ponte. They are just amazing beings. They're from the Zeta Reticulum star system, but they are not in any way, shape, or form related to the Greys.
Right.
I also work with a being by the name of Giuliano, who is a Arcturian that I met through David Miller. And one of the times that he did a reading for me, he told me that Giuliano and I had a lifetime in France at the same time as Nostradamus, and he was one of my teachers. So yeah, that's kind of some of my background.
Wow, that's pretty. That's awesome. We'll move this over. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Linda, do you have anything else you'd like to add, or Frank would like to add before we probably just get into it, right?
Yeah.
But just get into it.
Yeah, I just want to hear what
Oh,
yeah, what you have to say. What
Frank, is there something you would like to add?
I have to get off the phone. My phone is heating up like you can't believe.
Oh no.
I'm going to be listening. I'm going to be listening to it through my laptop, but there's no camera. But I'll be able to talk to you through the laptop.
All
My
right.
phone is just burning up. It's
Oh
burning up.
wow, wow. Okay, I got you. I'm going to admit you from that side. All right.
Yes, thank
Yep.
you.
So
we'll
Frank,
see you in a minute.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
On
go
the
in
other
my
s-
room and put my phone on my charger.
That's a good idea.
Frank on the
Okay,
other side.
hang on.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's good.
Oh, she is on her phone. Okay.
I kind of remind
Yeah, I
you.
can't get on my computer. I tried, and
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It
we were
won't
having
go
all
through.
kinds of issues, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
common. That's common. It's not our first rodeo.
I
Nope.
love
This
that.
happens a lot.
It's not our first rodeo. I love that.
No. That remind me, we were doing a chat once with, remember Evan? I think he was like in 2 places at once. He kind of froze, and then he was.
Yeah. There were 2 Evans.
Yeah. Oh my God. Lyra is kind of like, oh my God. Too
I had the same problem with Brandon of Expanding Reality, where we got cut off in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
And then we came back in.
What you gonna do? What? Yeah, that's all kinds of things. So it's
Okay, I've got it on the chart. Now I'm sitting on my bed.
we don't have Frank, so hopefully he'll be able to load. I brought him in, so we're just gonna wait for him to.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
We won't be able to see him, but we'll hear him, I guess.
Yes. So, well, Frank is the one that gets everybody in trouble with Val. That's how everybody gets in contact, is through Frank.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? When Val is either writing through me or speaking through me, I swear I'm talking to Frank half the time.
Oh, I said,
It's like,
yes.
It's like Frank's higher self is there with him, and it's
Oh
like,
my God.
Frank, you sound so much like him.
Yeah.
This is so funny.
And I once questioned Frank. I said, okay, Frank, tell me, are you an otherworlder? He looked at me. Well, he didn't look at me, but he said back to me on the phone, he goes, you're an otherworlder too, Ethera.
Many,
That's an
many
admission.
are,
That's an admission.
you know, many.
We are
everybody-
otherworlders.
Everybody's a visitor somewhere. It's just.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm starting to realize that. but it just seems like he's so private to himself and off a lot of times. It makes me wonder if he is off world.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
It wouldn't
Yes.
surprise me either.
We have wondered that too.
And
Well, yeah.
Andrea, when you told me you weren't from here, I was like all aghast. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually talking to somebody that isn't from here, and she admits it.
There's a lot of people that are coming forward, I'll tell you that. So,
Yeah, I'm learning that. I really am. And I don't think there is anybody on this planet who hasn't had a contact. I really don't.
absolutely. They just don't think, I mean, they're not aware, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just aren't aware of it.
They're
Yeah.
everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah. That's why I always say there's no such thing as first contact. That's already that ship sailed.
That's what Raven told me too, because
That ship
I'm waiting for that big one, and he's like, Ethera, it's already happened to you.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I think we may have lost Frank in the fog there.
Well, it says connecting to audio, so it looks like he's trying to connect.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing on my end.
I admitted him and he disappeared. He's probably coming in through his ship or something.
So something Val was saying to me, I wanted to share with you, Andrea, because I was nervous about doing this. And he goes, how nervous would you be if her rooster showed up? And I said, not at all. Why? And he said, because she has her rooster there from time to time.
Oh, he's right here. He is right
He
there.
says it's real hard. He says it's real hard to be nervous when you're looking at a rooster.
Oh, they come here and they see all my chickens, so they're pretty much familiar with all these. He's kind of perturbed because this is his bedtime and oh, it's magic.
You're taking the space that he would normally be in.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Once Frank reappears,
yes,
would you like to start with some of the sound communication before we get into the
absolutely. In fact, I've been actually able to interpret my language. When I first started out, it was ancient Gaelic, ancient Hebrew, ancient Aramaic, and my language. And then all of a sudden, when I was doing it for other people, I would notice it would be in a language that they could recognize as well. It also has abilities to do healing work. And I was telling Frank, and he really wants me to do a drawing of this, but this was like a long time ago. I was in bed with my third husband, and I was doing my sound communications, and he was trying to get me to shut up. He said, you're too loud. And I said, you need to be quiet because I'm seeing the Giza Plateau in a hologram in purple in front of me.
Wow.
So it's also able to translate different visual images. I have never been able to repeat that, but my feeling is there is something really important with that. And when I told Frank about this, he said, Athera, try to do a sketch of it, even if, you're not an artist or whatever, because it might jog something in you. So haven't quite done that yet, but I'm going to. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Well, Frank,
I've had some amazing experiences. And oh yes, Yeshua is writing a book through me called Transcendence. And when it's finally published, he said that the proceeds are going to be given to whoever I'm told by him to give them to. It's all about working basically with the understanding that these masters, including himself, are just like us, and that he's coming to rewrite the messages that people said from the Bible that none of that was true, and that he wants to clear the air, basically. It's up to like 300 pages now.
wow.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was funny because when he got to 60, I thought he was going to say that was the end, right? And he goes, now we'll start on chapter 2. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm also writing a book, Other Worlds, Other Times, Other Places. Now that's my book. And I think it's going to be like a 10-year project, basically. Kathleen's been helping with part of the notes because part of it was Giuliano's dialogue, which was 8 years of notes. And we finally got it on the computer because everything is handwritten, which is fun.
Amazing. Yeah. I don't know if Frank is in the background. Frank, are you there? I heard him. No,
I see his picture, but not him.
no, because I don't know. He may be muted.
Yeah, see if he's muted. I
I
see
think
there's a microphone on one of the Franks. I see two Franks.
microphone on the Frank.
And there's a microphone on one of them, and it's muted. So if you can unmute that, then maybe we can hear him.
Yeah, he's actually not even showing up on my computer.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not seeing him at all.
why am I seeing him, but you're not? That's weird.
I will send him a text. People will just have to fast forward through all our glitches today.
Why am I seeing him like I'm the host?
Nope, I
Well,
can't.
but if you make me host, maybe I can unmute him.
That might work.
I don't know. Co-host. I'm not sure how to do that.
You have to go into where it says participants, click on that, and then you'll see me, and then you click on make host. And then maybe I can unmute him.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he doesn't realize he's muted. Let's see, what's this? Nope.
It's funny he doesn't realize it.
Let's try this.
I feel so much better now.
Oh, be fast forwarding because I don't edit, so this should be on here. Participants, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Okay, here it is. He's muted.
Yep, there he is. So you just have to click on his microphone and unmute him.
He knows. Ask to unmute.
Okay.
There he is. There it is. There it is. Whoops. Just keeps coming. Okay. I'm trying to click on it and it keeps doing more than. All right, let's see. He doesn't notice. Ask to unmute. Ah, that's so funny. Maybe okay.
Technical difficulties.
You're co-host, so maybe you can get Frank.
I am the co-host now.
I just clicked you.
Okay. All right. Participants.
They'll just fast forward all our
Frank.
our shenanigans.
Ask. Okay.
Actually, this is really calming me down.
There's two Franks, so I don't know which.
There he goes. All right. Here he is.
Okay. There he is. All right. Yay. I think. He's still muted.
We're gonna go on with this. Yeah.
He's still muted. He looked like he was unmuted for a second.
Okay. Oh, no, he's still. I made him co-host.
Ask to
Yeah,
unmute.
I saw that.
I just asked him to unmute. It's just not.
I asked him 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, while we pull around with Frank, I can't unmute him because it just says
Yeah, it just says ask to unmute, so you can't actually unmute him. He has to do it himself.
Oh my God.
He might not even actually be in the meeting then. It's just.
We may have lost Frank. Oh well. All right.
Is this because Mercury went retrograde and now it's coming out of it?
Is it in retrograde?
I think it's a possibility.
That figures. That figures.
Oh, that's funny. I could even just no. Well,
We'll just have to.
So we'll go for it. So Ethera, would you like?
Yes.
Now that we're all discombobulated and have no clue what's going on, would you like to? Oops, I want to get rid of the chat here. I gotta close this because it's taking up too much. There it is. All right, taking up too much of my computer. Would you like to start with sound communication for us?
Sure. Nada shilo keke mama eva atatsuko elosete jevova alelete shino makemove alalete ushwa o laladete. Hina I Canada ufane dun. It is found, it is found, it is found. Ye she no kama. Elele sete shishu she la loka. Lelo masenete ananete ashuma mama. Yeno kila la sete ashula la sinoma kama vana diete. Ola la soya mokela lo samanada. In yakin ola la lete ashumbela usakomba emochile. Ye roda suta yeshi ko mai lady da sinamate amode olo so mama yelaki ashika shum de loka de sia tite shinamanati no maki oile vete asinoma venete o asate shua.
That's awesome. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're
I
welcome.
don't know if this is Frank trying to text us back, but oh, there he is. Yep. Oh, he's having trouble. He's with his connection. So we're gonna continue flying the ship, sadly without
Okay.
without our command.
Without our commander.
He will be back, I'm sure, for another wonderful podcast. But yeah, it happens. We have all kinds of issues here. So, Ethera, who would like to come through first, and if they have a message initially, and then we'll go into the
Okay.
question.
All right. Hang on. Okay, this is my spiritual teacher's coming first. His name is Viwamas.
Yep.
Good evening to you, dear ones. We are so pleased. And we want you to know that the glitches are happening simply because there is an allowance problem going on with the universe, shall we say. But it is starting to clear up. Just give it some time and those glitches will start to disappear. This one, Frank's higher self, is here now, even though the other one is not. So that might be one of the two that you are seeing. But we want to, without further ado, give you back to this one known as Val. I am Valiant Thor, and I am so glad to be with you this evening. There is a change coming, as each one of you understand. And you are freeing yourselves up so that you can leave behind the past. We see what is called a serendipity of energy that is moving forward for each one of you. We know that it has been some difficulty in the past to believe that we will intervene. But we are coming in droves now. It is necessary. And our ground crew is always loved and cared for. This one I channel through has a star guardian by the name of Salaya. We are now in contact with this one, as well as the ones that are with each one of you. You all are turning the tide in a way that is profitable, not in the sense of monetary per se, but in the sense of abundance, of acceptance in each one of you. I see the two of you I am speaking to now are in total sync at times. There is some difficulty that has been happening, but you're able to go through this with flying colors. We on what you call the upstairs is so pleased to come through tonight. I am Samyasi and I am here. You know me so well, Andrea, my dear. I want you to know that you're leaving behind many things that you couldn't find. I'm coming in rhyme for this one now to let you know that you know how, and you're going to make a difference even more than you've ever expected in yourself. And you're going to know just what to put on the shelf. Athera has had this happen before, but not through this or absolutely this door. I want you to know that you're changing vibrations as we speak. You are assisting this one, Athera, who is actually called Earth Star. You are anchoring vibrations that will assist with more of the understanding of how to complete this mission, all of you. We see that all of you are very tired, but we also know that your spirits are being lifted, and you are lifting the spirits of others as you are doing this. So just know, hello, Dolly, you're going to make it. We leave you now.
That's grand, yeah. So,
Awesome.
yeah, that's definitely her. Frank's trying to come back, but so
Okay.
Yeah, I let him in. I hope that
good, yeah.
worked.
So I don't know, so who wants to come forward first, but we got some great questions. And I know Val and Semjase know exactly what most of these questions are going to be about.
Okay.
This is not their first rodeo with me and the rest of us working upstairs and griping about this. And they understand our perspective is because Linda and myself and Frank, of course, who's making his way forward. We see a lot of our envoy friends, brothers and sisters who are struggling and they're not getting the help that they need, and they're on their last legs, really. Some literally, and it's frustrating to see them going through these kinds of things. So yeah, I mean, I think our concerns are valid, but I have some questions here initially for Val and some for Semjase. If Val is ready, I can ask some of these for him.
All right, hang on.
Yeah.
This is Val once again. You may begin.
All right. Hi, Val. Nice to see you again. Well, sort of see you. Nice. You know, I want to thank you again for all the hard work you're doing, and you know I'm always very, very grateful. And in fact, you're probably you. Of course, Samyasi is just my friend, but you know, I think I told you, I know it was the other day or something, that you know we'll be working together. Even though I've resigned from other positions, but so the first question for you from fellow envoys is, there are so many envoys here. Why aren't we helping them more? Why do they feel abandoned? Why can't they meet their star family in an environment that both parties can be in their physical form? Sometimes we all need a hug and contact with our star families could help to relieve some of the pain and abuse we have endured on this planet.
So my answer to this is look to the skies and then look inside the self and see what matches up first. Because indeed, they are being given information at times because they are so low in their vibration of sadness and all of the above that it is difficult to get through those barriers. I can give you an example of the one known as James. He was wanting to have direct communication from me because of everything that he is trying to do, but I was only able to break through a very little bit. At times when the vibrations are very low, or even the atmosphere, as you understand vibrationally, it can be confusing for some of you to believe that we have abandoned you. We have not abandoned anyone, and we do come in the quiet hours, and we do try to assist as much as we can. You know, there are certain, shall we say, guidelines at this point that keep us from interfacing or interfering too much in these policies, and I will use those words, but we are doing our very best to assist. And yes, we give you all energy hugs, not only hugs, but kisses. We would like to dry your tears. We would like you to know that you are not alone. You are first on what I would call through this one the docket, so to speak. But there is also limitations that have been set by this world, and you are well aware of this, Andrea. You deal with this on a continuous basis. But just know, and I am speaking all of these envoy that are now asking that question, we are here, and there is a change coming very, very quickly now.
Okay, Grant. Thanks, Val. So I have another question. A lot of these are going to be on similar lines. So this is number 2. It is evident there are different levels of galactic politics at play here in this situation. So as well as different levels of Earth politics. Many races of various frequencies have sent their people here to help out with the various issues, programs, and agendas currently on the Earth's experiences, some good, not so good. With everything going on, wouldn't it be prudent, especially with such a multitude of scenarios being played out on the Earth plane and beyond, that communication with those souls who specifically came here and are now starting to realize the multi-layered cosmic game being played out? I would think it'd be of importance to have a dialogue with these various Terrans who might have something to contribute. It seems to me that a great benefit can be had by both incarnated Terrans and our space brothers and sisters of various frequencies and vibratory consciousness. The prime directive has been bent and broken long ago.
So your question is then, is this going to change? Yes.
Yeah. The main question here is why aren't they really bringing us into the fold? I believe this is the question. Why are we having to sort of scrape for information? Why aren't we getting direct information? I guess that's probably the question.
Yeah.
The word scraped is very interesting because it has been said that there are those that are scraping the bottom of the barrel. But at the bottom of that barrel, there is a lot of energy there that is going to open up things. I can't go into specifics, but you already know what I'm speaking about, because there are those in power that are now trying to shift this as dramatically and quickly as possible. But understand that it takes some doing on the part of those that are here. We would tell you what you already know. We are not here to save this planet. It has to be a two-way street, and it is continuously being monitored, shifted, and changed. But we also want you to know it is not also possible to get everybody in movement when they backslide. And some of them are backsliding simply because they are so tired. This is not a judgment when I say these words. This is a knowing that these ones have to sort of stand up a little more and say, all right, I can do this. And then we can meet them more fully. We can meet them in the dreams. We can meet them in a contact. We can meet them, but we can only meet them halfway.
Okay, yeah, grand. All right. So the next question is for either, I suppose, or both. We can both, Semjase and Val can answer this question themselves, even whoever wants to come forward. So what updates can you give us about what's going on with the happenings on Earth?
This is Samyasi.
Okay, grand.
And I am so pleased, friend, as you called me, to be back with you with this. The shifting of power, of axis power is one of the biggest things that is happening here. But their shift is not going to make the difference. It is Gaia and Prime Creator that will make this shift possible. All of the galactics are but a portion or a facet of what is occurring on Earth, but not just on Earth. Everywhere simultaneously, because you are in what is now called simultaneous time. And I would say it is time. I agree with you 100%. It is time. However, it is also time to realize that as you're shifting this, you're also shifting your ways of viewing this. And it is not a matter of, oh, it's an hour, it's a minute, it's a second. It is less than a second. It is a millisecond in each shift. With each one of these, when we tap into their consciousness, they look around and they go, well, we could do it this way, or we could do it that way. And yet there are so many turning their back or looking backwards at the way things were, like you call in your world nostalgia, that we quite, just like with Ethera, I had to kind of shake her like I was shaking a tree going, no, it's going to be okay. And so that's what I say to them. The earth is changing so rapidly. She is ascending and she calls the shots. And so does that which you call creator frequency or vibration. They're the ones that are going to make the real changes on this planet called Earth.
All right, grand. Thanks, Semjase. You might want to answer this one too. And you know, because we talk about this quite a bit. What are the star seeds? Why do the star seeds have to go through hell and pushing some to suicide or some really on the brinks right now?
We depend upon them, and at times they feel that that dependence does not allow their independence. But we are also moving towards them as much as we can to assist. That is why someone such as Ethera comes in contact with these ones to let them know that they are not alone. That is why these groups are forming, my dear one, all around the planet in what are called soul families, star families. You're talking about the star families, but it is also the star seed families that are coming together.
What about Semjase? You know where I'm going to go. So we talk. What about the people who are really in desperate situations right now, either through serious health issues or some significant financial issues? Do you have any? I mean, I can't put you on the spot, but I mean, um, what can we say to them?
Our guidance is the healing factor of the energies that are now coming in. They are mimicking many diseases when actually it is what is called ascension symptoms. The more they are able to focus on their breath and working with their own healing energies within themselves, they will become more online with some of the more technological experiences, such as what is called the Arcturian healing chambers. It is not just a fantasy when we say this. There are actually ships that are available for these ones to go aboard energetically, and it is occurring. I agree, it is a slow rate, but it is occurring. And what we say to these ones is we love them greatly, and we see what they have done, and we appreciate everything they're doing. Let them know that they are able to heal themselves as they move those belief systems past themselves that are holding them back. This is not a judgment. This is said with great love.
All right, John, thanks so much. So, the next question, how can the Galactics be aware of the pain and suffering of starseeds and not help them effectively? And I think I could even add to this question, or, why are people still being attacked by the deep state? Why is that being allowed? And why were starseed or envoy children allowed to be, subjugated to such terrible things from the Meier labs and the MK Ultra?
All right. And so this is a 3-part question. So where would you like to start?
Well, we'll start with how can the Galactics be aware of the pain and suffering of starseeds and not help them?
Yes, we want you to know that we are helping, but there needs to be an increase in the help, and we see this now. And we are going to assist even more since this dialogue tonight. We will be assured that it is happening when you are seeing some more of this coming forward. We see that this possibility, or indeed what you would call probability, will be opening up more very soon. You are drawing attention to this, Andrea, and because you are drawing attention to this, your viewers will be listening, and your viewers will begin to make the difference as well. Do you understand?
Yes. Well, you know me. So as far as people who are still, this is a big concern. There are many of us still being attacked. I was actually attacked this week by the deep state. We're still being frequency attacked, or some people are still being thrown into the SSP programs, MK Ultra. Why is that still occurring?
We want you to know that there is a residue that is still being played out, but this residue is coming to a close. You know how it is said the disclosure comes from the government, but we say the closure comes from us, comes from you as well. So you are in the last, we will call it death rattle of those experiences.
All right, brilliant, brilliant, Samyasi. Thanks, Sue. Where does the population stand in terms of awakening from your vantage point?
50% partnership with the whole.
Okay, that's better than I thought. Well, of course, you know me, I'm always very, very negative, glass half empty. So
But I love you anyway.
yes, I bring spice to the party. So, so here's another one for
Your
Samyasi.
spice girl.
Yeah, this one is a juicy one. So anyway, so Semjase, are you still speaking at all with Billy Meier? And I guess what are your thoughts on that situation?
That is such an interesting question. I am so pleased that you are asking this because the one I am speaking through wants to understand more about that as well.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is this, that this one has become a bit more fogged over. And it is a good example of what you speak about for those who have been pounded, belittled, and surface energy that has been there with him as well. But he is a hardy soul and he will get through this slowly but surely. We do come from time to time, but he is so shut down in some ways now because he did his bit, is what he would tell you. He did his bit. And now it's up to some younger souls, he would say, to basically start doing more. You understand?
That's grand, yeah. So someone asked, are there any new projects that you are involved in right now?
That is interesting that you say that because it is long-standing with this one, Ethera, called Project Humanity. And I am involved with some others as well, but I am not able to talk about them. But through this one, I can share with you what she and I created. The reason this was put together was indeed because Athera was so frustrated and angry with the projects called Project Blue Book, Project Sign, Project Grudge, Project Aquarius, that when I came to her, I asked her, I said, what would you like to do with me? And she said, I don't know. She goes, what about a project together? And we thought about it for a while, and everything I just relayed, she had said to me. So we said, what about Project Humanity? And that is what I am doing with this one now.
Brilliant. Yeah, I've heard about that. Athera has mentioned that. We now have a question again for Mr. Val.
All right. 1 minute, please.
And so bring him. He's probably on his lunch break. So
This is Val.
hi Val, we have a question for you again. So this person wants to know, how will the envoys get home? Do they have a body in the stasis pod? Will there be some kind of solar flash? Will we have to die first? So we have a lot of people on this planet who are requesting extraction, and yeah, how are they going to get back home?
I will say the same thing Ethera would say, A, B, or C, all of the above, but I would add X, Y, and Z. And the reason I add X, Y, and Z is because it's the end of something and they're moving towards the finish line, so to speak. And it is always free will choice. And there will be those that will go in the first, and there will be those that will go in the second, and there will be those that will go in the third waves. You know about the waves, yes?
Yes.
One of the things we want to tell you is Those waves were set up a long time ago. Those waves brought each one of you here, as a matter of fact, so that you could do your work. Well, it is now moving into the reverse of this so that you can begin to move away from here. But it is not going to be in an instant like has been, shall we say, predicted. It is variables with what is occurring in the solar systems as well. You need to understand that this is not just the basis of the galactic fleet, the galactic command. It is also got to do with Sol, S-O-L, or Sol, if you would prefer. And it has been briefly expected that it was going to occur much quicker, and yet it has been expected it would take much longer. So it kind of goes back and forth. If you see Ethera's hand going back and forth. But what we want to tell you is each one of these people, these ones that are asking, will make up their own minds when the time comes. And it is timely, to be sure.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. Yeah. So one more question for you, Val. How does the GFW approach the human trafficking managed by the ICC, the intergalactic corporate conglomerate on Mars, who sell human slaves and such, or do they just ignore behind non-interference policies?
We are moving out of that, just as I moved to Washington, you understand.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I have a question concerning this that I never actually asked you. How was human trafficking even allowed off this planet when in the intergalactic law it is not legal to traffic humans? Why was that? It seems like a blind eye turned to the suffering that was coming off this planet.
It is interesting that you use blind eye, because that blind eye is now opening more fully. And yes, there will be repercussions for this, is what we hear you truly asking. Will there be repercussions? And yes, there will. Why did it take so long? Why did it take so long for other things to happen as well? We can only tell you that the shift made a difference, but it's a slow shift, to be sure.
Yeah, we see that. We see that for sure. So I don't know, Linda, if you have any questions, we've been going on.
Yeah,
I can always do another round some other time as well. So it's not.
Yeah, I had a question for both Val and Semjase, and it's just basically if you could. It's actually kind of a question about if you could have one wish for humans, for Earthlings, for people of Earth. If you could have one wish for them, besides, not blowing themselves up and each other up, what would that be? What would you like to give them? What would you like to have happen for them?
The sense of peace that we experience where we are, and the knowing that they will get there.
Yeah, that would definitely help them, I think. Yeah. That would definitely help them.
Ask them to go into their dream state, and we are now able to go there with them.
So the shift has helped. The shift of, like, whenever we receive these energies from the sun, we get the solar flares. Does that help with the ascension of the Earth and with people being able to come more into their abilities and their power?
It certainly moves it along, yes.
Okay. So that probably did help when we've been recently having a lot of that happening.
Yes. And we are showing this one, Ethera, a volcano. Think about the Pacific Ring, the Ring of Fire, and how it has shifted and changed the very ground that people are walking on. Think about in that respect of those floods, it is changing the perspective of many. And the ones that are in so-called power, we will call it here, are not going to have a leg to stand on, if you get our meaning.
Yes. And how will this affect not just the people on the surface, but the people that are living under the surface?
They may have to make room for some others, and it may be sort of abrupt, we will say.
I had a feeling.
Well, I'm gonna, you know me, they know me, they're probably cringing. It's easy for Linda and I and a lot of people who are comfortable to, talk about those kinds of things. But what's going to be done for people who are in immediate need right now and
Yeah.
still struggling under this oppressive regime, who are still in survival mode? If you're just trying to wonder if your kid's going to survive, if you're wondering if you're going to pay your rent next week, it's easy for us to sit here and talk about wonderful, floaty, woo-woo topics.
Yes, indeed.
That
Yes.
doesn't mean a whole lot for people who are still fully living under the oppressive regime on this planet.
I understand what you are speaking of, and we want you to know that we are doing more. And what you can tell them is it is going to change, but it has to be believed that it can change.
Well, I think, unfortunately, and you know me, I think a lot of people have lost hope at this point.
Yes.
We've gotten to the point where it's taken so long, and people have been given so many fake promises and can kicks and carrot dangles of wonderful things that are supposed to happen that never happen. And they're at a place right now where they literally can't survive anymore on this planet.
But what
They're
if
drowning.
it actually did happen?
Oh, well, if they actually happen, I mean, that's what you know me, both of you, right? And I respect you and love you both, but I think we need something in front of us at this point. I think well, and you know what I'm going to say, because I say it all the time. And it's why I quit. It's words are cheap and promises are cheap. People need it in front of their face now. They need food now. They need medicine now. They need a lot of things now.
So what we say is, it is here, but it has to be believed that it's possible. And yes, we know the empty promises. We have had that from other times as well ourselves. We are moving as rapidly as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to be clear, and all of our viewers understand, who have extraterrestrial family. It's not you guys, obviously. We're just individuals, and it's just unfortunate that, hopefully at some point in all of our existences, we won't have oligarchies or any individuals who take away our free will and sovereignty and assume positions of power and governance over us. And I think once that's gone upstairs, as well as on the other planets, hopefully we can have a new way of living.
It will be a domino effect, to be sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It just takes one domino to be tipped, my friend. One domino to be tipped.
Yeah. That's grand. So we'll probably be wrapping it up now. It's been a lot of work for Ethera. Semjase and Val, would you have any parting messages for our audience tonight?
This is Samyasi. Go with the tide. See the energy for what it truly is, and how it can afford change within all of you. And know that you are protected. You would not be able to be speaking this truth right now if you weren't. This is Val, and I say, you've changed something already by just listening to us. Really, really listening to us. And I know you push away some of what has been said, but I also know you are taking it deeper into yourselves and saying, maybe, just maybe, there is some hope. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. I spent a great deal of time trying to get those in power to hear me. And I've gone through some of the same experiences that each one of you have, knocking on doors, trying to get somebody to turn around to listen when they really didn't want to, or it didn't profit them some way. But I'm here to tell you, I'm still here. I'm still here for each one of you.
All right.
I return you now to Ethera.
Well, thank you, Semjase and Val, for taking some time with us today, and thank you, Ethera, for going through.
Oh, you're so
Going
welcome.
through all that. I was
Not
like,
a problem.
I know how tiring it is when you telepath, so I'm kind of, limiting.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I'm not that tired
Not that
because their
that's
energies when they're coming through me. Yeah, yeah.
good.
And I so appreciate having the time to do this with you guys. And thank you for making it so easy, Andrea.
Well, I mean,
You
we're
made
excited, to have you on. Everybody couldn't wait for this to happen. I'm gonna, it'll be published tomorrow morning. I know everybody's they think I'm gonna publish it tonight.
Yeah.
So I go tomorrow morning. But yeah, and we'll thank everybody for their patience while they're used to us struggling. But I think one thing, and you're not you actually hear the stuff in the channel, so you're not like, you're a clear channel. So one of the things that the protection and Linda was there the night we were hit. I still have the video up and we have the explanation. So one night we were doing a live and it was really a really boring live. It was terrible. And it was Frank was like, what the hell was I'm like, I know. So I go to the end, fast forward, like fast forward through shit, right? So fast forward to the end and we get hit by the deep state. I mean, it was a bot party. We were getting slammed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stayed on long enough for the boys to connect because Eeka was still in the military then. So I was just playing a game with them and fighting back. You got to fight back. And I was just, I was being crude, rude. This was not a PG or this was an R-rated, X-rated.
They were in the chat. They were all in the chat. So
yeah,
it was like,
you don't want to mess with me because I'm gonna be pretty dirty. So that's why they call me Jessica. But we never got hit again. Never. I've had
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. And that, they are there. And you just got to demand. That's what people don't do. You got to demand. Get up there and swear and tell me I demand assistance. And there was one, it was interesting. I actually lost overnight 2,000 subscribers.
Mm.
And that was upstate over, like, those weren't people, those were deep state
Bots. Yeah.
Yeah. So they removed 2,000 subscribers from my channel. So
Well,
Was that
I
right
would just
afterwards?
I would just like to share with you in parting. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I
No,
interrupt you? I
I'm
didn't
trying to
mean
hear you.
No, go ahead.
One of the beings that I channel is by the name of Ra. And when he
Yeah.
comes through me, he uses deflection with my hands, almost like Tai Chi. And I've had those very same experiences, but guess what? He kicks them right back out the door.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You got to fight.
So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Linda. I think you were going to. Yes.
No. I was just asking if that happened right after you lost the 2,000 right after that whole thing with the chat.
Oh, it was before, actually. It was just a random.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were just getting hit. Yeah, they were attacking you. I remember that. Yeah.
So, like I said, they control this channel because I went from a nobody in September to, over 30,000 subscribers in less than a year. So,
do you remember a program a very long time ago? You were probably too young, but it was called The Outer Limits.
maybe no.
Because it sounds like the way it used to come on. They'd say, we control the horizontal, we control the vertical.
Hmm.
That brings back memories.
Oh my God, yes. That's so cute. Oh my God. This is more, this probably reminds me more of Land of the Lost.
Oh my God, I remember Land of the Lost. Oh, geez. You're dating yourself, Andrea.
Oh, my father and I used to love that show. We would watch, so it's the Draco. I mean, it's interesting because you watch the reptilian, it's now reflecting back on some of the shows my dad and I used to absolutely adore. I'm like, oh, that's why we were watching. That's why I really liked them. Like, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if anybody else any questions, Linda. And again, of course, this is not a one-off. Most of the people I have on the show, are longtime friends and hopefully will be future friends. So we'll always be in touch, and we look forward to having Athera on again.
Oh, thank you. I'd love that.
I'll go to Grandy, and hopefully we can get Frank to be able to
Be on with us.
Yeah.
You know,
I see his insignia, but there's nothing there. So it's like
his phone went toast.
his ghost. The ghost of Frank is in this
I'm
chat.
still
He
listening.
almost went up in flames.
Oh,
So
there you are. I
I'm
heard
still
you.
listening.
You're
Gary,
listening.
I was able to listen. Yes.
He's in listening mode.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Frank? You can connect with Athera if you have any questions for Samyasi and Val. You want to connect with Athera, and then I can just do a short little podcast and post them during in the next couple of days if you guys.
Sure, we could do that.
Yeah,
But my phone was heating up. I thought it was going to blow up. It got
I've
so
gone through
super
that
hot.
too,
I had to get
Frank.
off of it.
Frank, I've gone through that too, where my phone gets so hot I can hardly hold it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, yes. Yeah. The deep state did not want Frank on tonight.
No.
But I could be silent and listen.
You could be.
Well, it's good to hear your voice finally. Do you have any questions?
No, I was just going to ask Val and Semjase how we could be of greater service to the light in expanding consciousness here. And I know the answer.
Okay.
Well,
Then I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you.
We're gonna have
Onward
to
and
do
upward.
repeat performance here.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Encore, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank Val and Samyasi for taking some time. And again, of course, we're always eager to engage with as many people as we possibly can, in this 4D physical realm. But thank you, Frank. Thank you, Ethera. And thank you, Linda, also for spending time with us.
Always an honor.
And,
My pleasure.
And when is this going to be on?
We'll still be on tomorrow. So
Tomorrow.
watching is
Okay.
happening now. I'm going to be there now.
Okay. Take care.
Beautiful.
All right,
Take care. We'll
bye-bye.
see everybody upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.